What up, YouTube? Back with another one. This one will be on the subject of why are the left so cringe? Just uploaded a video yesterday, so it started getting some views now. And I'm not even addressing the sort of left wing in the video. It's a video about right wingers and how do atheist right wingers feel about the sort of rise of people returning to religion in the right wing, because obviously atheist right wingers do exist. Obviously with religion more people tend to lean to the right, or at least the central, but you do get them. But then the first two comments I've had so far have been cringe leftists for some bizarre reason. And like the first one told me that I should kill myself. Very, very typical leftist atheist behaviour there. And then the second one called me a Nazi. Like, you're just so, I don't know, it's so weird, man. So weird, because I even said in the video that I am, I'm a centrist, really. I am only allied with right-wingers because they don't boot you out of groups and clubs for saying certain things. I mean, maybe they would if I said something truly abhorrent, but, as far as I've always been aware, as long as you're not cracking jokes about children, everything's fine in right-wing groups. Nobody's going to boot you out for disagreeing with somebody, unless you're trying to push for nonsense, which is why obviously it's all the rainbow crowd that don't like to be called groomers. But yeah, so like the first comment was, I can't remember it fully now because I've hidden these users. They're not going to get to comment again now. That's what happens when you abuse your right to be able to speak, is that I have my right to not listen to you. So we'll go into the void. You'll never see a comment ever again, and no comments will be shown on any further videos of mine. But so the first comment saying basically that people cherry pick religion or something. I don't know. Maybe that's like me because I don't like fully fit into the Anglican Church. I'm most aligned with that one, but I don't like being pigeonholed fully into anything. It's essentially why I'm central anyway. It's because I agree with some right-wing perspectives and agree with some left-wing perspectives. Like, I'm not against immigration. I think if people come here legally, that's all cool. And as long as we have sufficient infrastructure, jobs, resources of our own to be able to get them work and they can help the economy, and jobs are good. But obviously it's been taken to an extreme, which is why I'm with the right wingers until we resolve the issue. But I do believe women should have access to the old not being pregnant option anymore. But again, I also think that's been abused, and that there needs to be some kind of education around not using it as a form of contraception. So yeah, I find it odd to try and, I don't know, be upset that people might cherry pick parts from religion, but then also like wish death on me, which is I don't know, it's a bit weird. I mean, are you the better person for wishing death on me? I've not wished death on anybody. And so second comment, as I said, just went on a sort of long-winded rant about like why people shouldn't be concerned about wokeism in quotes, which I find very odd. Like they invented the word woke, and then they ask us to define it or say it doesn't exist when they invented the word. And like, bitch, it's your word. You were the ones that started referring to yourself as woke. It was over 10 years ago now, so now it's cringe. So now you're trying to pretend that you didn't do it. And yeah, to put it in quotation marks, as though people shouldn't be concerned about these imaginary things that aren't happening. The people protesting against the people protesting about the hotels, they don't exist. It's a figment of your imagination. And this is why the left has lost the culture war. Because you can't help but tell lies. You have to misrepresent what your opponent is saying all the time.
Morning.
Morning, mate. You alright?
Yeah, you.
Yeah, good man. And everybody's had enough, really. And this is why I feel confident I can just walk around talking about this kind of stuff. So I know the sort of rabid leftists in in a hyper minority around where I live. And although I'm not going to go sticking the cameras in everybody's faces, where I live is a very it's not mono-ethnic, but it's highly that way. And we're looking at what's happening in London, Birmingham, for it to stay that way. You right, mate? And as you see, like, people when you're out in Yorkshire, they're all very friendly. Say hello to each other. Even though I've got camera, and obviously I'm not going to stick it in the face, so that's probably why they're still friendly. I'm sure if I turned it around, started gaining the business, and not be very happy about it, tell me to, 0121 do one. Yeah, but leftists are cringe, man. You had seemingly the moral high ground for so long because you'd pulled the wool over everybody's eyes. Maybe see how you really behave now. After Charlie Kirk was shot and you were all laughing about it. I mean, you can be not sad that somebody's died. I mean, that happens with me. People die sometimes, and I'm like, don't really consider it like a negative to the world that they're not there anymore. I don't go around celebrating it, trying to rub it in people's faces. And in case I'm confusing some people out there, yes, I am quite new to Christianity as such. I believed in God for a few years now, maybe about three years, and then just recently took the plunge to be Christian, I suppose. So you have to bear with me while I become a better person, and maybe I will feel that every life, no matter how unappealing to me, is still a bad thing. But I still consider it a good thing I don't go around celebrating death, which is why I think a lot of people got red-pilled recently, last few months. And then what's happening now with protesting against people wanting to protect the children? You get upset when they can't have drag queens reading to your children. When they're not allowed these books in schools, in the USA more this I think, but when that happens you said these books are banned, even though you were the ones that were burning books prior to that. You were the ones that were saying certain books were naughty, can't read. And then when the right wing leans in and says, you can't just read them at school, you say it's banned. And I'm sure the right wing do lie as well. It's just, to me, less cringe, and it seems to be less obvious. And at the minute, I find it hard to watch certain right-wing YouTubers and catch them with their being a bit dishonest. I mean, maybe one way I can point out that I've noticed is that when they refer to police in a negative manner, they'll call them cops. So that's maybe the way that I've noticed recently how the right-wing manufacture their own content. So I'm not an ideologue. I don't I'm not allied with sort of the right wing because it's expedient for me. I'm allied with them because the left wing keep telling lies and pushing fake nonsense like appeal to novelty logic errors as facts. Like men can become women, like they can't become women. It's biologically impossible. At least as organisms as we come out of the womb. Maybe one day science will be able to alter DNA, but it seems like a suboptimal way to deal with your gender dysphoria, in my opinion. But I don't know. It's your life, man. Do what you want with it. It's not for me to judge, And that's just one thing to go back to why I started the video, right? Like, we're all like wishing death on me. Do you know how many times Christians have wished death on me? 0. Never happened. I mean, unless it's happened and I've just not known they were Christian, But in my sort of dealings with them very recently, over the past few months, it's never happened once. I mean, I think the worst thing I've experienced is I get a bit pissy about using certain words. Like one guy was, I I was referring to Anonymous, and I said we are Legion, as like that we are opposing like the left wing, because we've won the culture war essentially. That we've won the ideological battle, and they don't want me using that 'cause it's in the Bible, said by one of the demons or something. Like whatever, then I'm not saying it's not such a big deal. You know, believe in freedom of speech, but is it a battle I wanna get involved with? You know, if a Christian doesn't want me to say we are Legion, that's fine. You know, I mean, I don't really give a shit too much because the Bible wasn't originally wrote in Latin anyway. I mean, it wasn't originally. Well, I'm still like it wasn't originally wrote in Latin either, but it wasn't written in English. So again, it's somewhat. I'm not sure if the King James Bible or whichever ones were translated from the original Greek, but yeah, as far as I'm aware, the Bible is a translation of a translation anyway. So some of these translations might be slightly incorrect. So it does happen. But yeah, and so the way the left just dismiss religion as well, I think, is a bit curious, because they only dismiss it if you're Christian and if you're Jewish, you know. But I don't know, like the Jewish thing goes beyond just being about the religion, really. I think with the left. Yeah, but they'll not do that with the right wing. I mean, getting confused there. They'll not do that with the Muslims, though. They'll not. If a Muslim person was so strong in their religion, they'd be like, "Oh, that's so stunning and brave. Much GDP, many inclusive." You know, if you're, especially like me, I'm like new to Christianity. I mean, I was raised in a Christian country. I'm not you know. I can remember like the Lord's Prayer from going to church and like for weddings and stuff, and we used to sing hymns at school. So you know, it's not like alien to me. But I've never been a religious person going to church, trying to learn more about the Christian religion and Judaism, I suppose, as in my own time. You know, it's always been like not against my will, but organically, just from society around me. So yeah, left-wingers, stop wishing death on people, cringe weirdos. So the worst thing with the video, right, in both them examples is, I was stated that I'm quite new to religion, and like the first comment seems to be referring to me as of like being indoctrinated. I'm not chosen it. You know what I mean? Like, this is my choice. And like nobody proselytized to me. Nobody tried to manipulate me. I think the only way that has ever occurred in any sort of form or function would be over the last few years, since I started believing in God around 2022, like December time, November maybe, I don't know, around that time, October, end of 2022. And then I would tell people sometimes that I believed in God, and then many times like the like the African guys and stuff, maybe like the Indian Christians would ask me, do you go to church? And I'd be like, no. But maybe sometimes they would say, you need to go to church. But at that time, I was very much more of the Protestant religion arose from that sort of thing, about being heckled into going to church, because then you had to pay to access God. Not only that, it's one of the core arguments, though. But then with Charlie Kirk getting shot, I was like, well, I lose nothing really by going to church. It's not like I have to believe everything they believe. You know, I still believe in evolution, and it's not as if I need to get into those conversations with people at church. You know, maybe I don't reference Charles Darwin as being a great British, an example of British excellence. Yeah, just cringe weirdos, man. These left-wingers. I mean, don't get me wrong, Christianity is a bit cringe too. I think most Christians admit that. There is this like sort of, you know, makes you sound like you're the goody two shoes of the class. You know, the yes sir, no sir kind of person. But I think people like Andrew Wilson, etc., on the internet prove that Christians are still can be edgelords at the same time. You know, it's not an and/or sort of thing. But yeah, telling somebody to kill themselves is not being an edgelord. It's you're just being a weird, cringe little incel, to be honest. Like, those type of people that say that are definitely the kind of people that wouldn't say fuck all to somebody's face. No way. And the only time they would is if they were in a big group like they do at these protests and stuff, where these like soy boys do get a bit handsy with people that would just wreck them. Like, sort of like that Billy Moore chap a few months ago now, I think, when he was at the Liverpool march, I think. It's either that or the Manchester one. It was one of the two. And he got attacked. You know, and Billy Moore's definitely one of them guys that I reckon he can probably come out on top of most fights he would end up in against the average Joe in the street. So these leftists would absolutely get eviscerated if they were on their own. And what they tend to do is, well, what I've heard anyway, is that they punch you but scream at the same time. So then if you do have that natural reaction to hit them back, as you know, does happen in kickboxing and boxing and stuff, you know, that's what you're conditioned to do, is hit somebody who hits you. The police will see you hitting them because they've screamed. Just dishonest little maggots, really. Not all left-wingers, you know, like as I said in that video, I am essentially a left-winger. I've just always been like centre-left. I've never been a communist. Never even really been a socialist. I have some beliefs that come from socialism, I would say. I do think there should be a minimum wage, for instance. But yeah, to go as fast, call me a Nazi. What the fuck? In that video as well. So unless it's somebody who's watched my own videos and they know that I'm not happy with Abdul and Hassan coming over the border and causing havoc. I'm not sure where you could get this Nazi stuff from, and even that isn't Nazi anyway. It's just ad hominem logical fallacy to make them feel good, like they did something. In actuality, they did nothing. All they did was give me content to make another video and get more views. So if you're at this point in the video, thanks for still watching. Give the video a like. Maybe go back to my video, give that a like as well. Seeing as the like to downvote it at the minute. You know, and if you do leave an abusive comment, it's gone. One day, I'll be a large enough channel that I probably won't have time to get around to that kind of nonsense. But at the minute, bit of PR, you know, get rid of the troglodytes that need to get a job in the comments, and jobs are good one, to be honest. So yeah, I'm going to leave it here because I'm walking uphill. I start, you know, not getting out of breath, but won't exactly be the best best content. I'll see you in the next one anyway. Toodaloo.